So you know how every country has a history? Well, in this episode, we're going to explore the origins of one of the most powerful nations in the world, the United States of America. We'll follow the story of the colonies along the Atlantic coast from their humble beginnings as settlements under the control of the British Empire in 1700 all the way to its current state in 1914. So if you're ready to travel back in time and discover the roots of modern America, then get ready for our captivating journey through US history. You won't want to miss this. All right, so picture this. It's the year 1700 and the eastern coast of North America is a very different place. Instead of skyscrapers and bustling cities, it's mostly covered in forests and inhabited by Native Americans. But that's all about to change when European powers start showing interest in these lands. Enter the British, who establish colonies in the region. These colonies are initially meant to be just another source of wealth for the empire. They don't really have much autonomy or representation in the bigwigs in London. For them, it's all about extracting resources and making money. But things are about to change. Fast forward to 1776, and the 13 colonies along the Atlantic coast are on the brink of a revolution. Why, you ask? Well, it's a long story involving years of growing discontent. It all boils down to representation. The colonists feel like they're being taxed without having any say in the matter. No taxation without representation, they cry. This tension eventually explodes into the American Revolution, a full-blown war between the colonies and the mighty British Empire. And guess what? The underdog colonists win. They fight for their freedom and establish the United States of America as an independent nation. It's a moment that will change the course of history forever. But the journey doesn't end there. The newly formed US is expanding westward across the vast continent. They acquire territories through various means, including the Louisiana Purchase and the Oregon Treaty. These lands are not just empty, they're home to diverse indigenous populations who have been living there for centuries. As the US expands, it displaces thousands of Native Americans and pushes them off their ancestral lands. It's a dark chapter in American history, marked by broken treaties and forced relocations. The US becomes a continental nation stretching from the Atlantic coast to the Pacific Ocean. Now let's talk about foreign relations. In the early years, the US tries to stay neutral in the conflicts between Britain and France, but it doesn't last long. President Thomas Jefferson makes a bold move by purchasing the Louisiana Territory from Napoleon as France in 1803. This massive land deal doubles the size of the US and gives them control over the Mississippi River. It's a game changer, but it also brings new challenges as the US ventures further into Native American lands. Tensions rise. Conflicts like the War of 1812 against Britain and the American victory in the Mexican-American War add more territories to the US map. The desire for manifest destiny, the belief that Americans have a God-given right to expand across the continent, continues to drive westward expansion. Throughout this journey, influential leaders leave their mark on the nation. George Washington sets the tone as the first president, establishing many precedents for the office. His farewell address warns against political parties and foreign entanglements, setting the stage for early US foreign policy. Thomas Jefferson champions the Louisiana Purchase, expanding US territory and influence. James Madison leads the nation during the War of 1812, securing independence and national honor. Andrew Jackson emerges as a strong president, expanding suffrage to white males and shaping the nation's character. Each leader contributes to the growth and development of the United States during its formative years. The U.S. economy is primarily agricultural in the early years, with cash crops like tobacco, rice and cotton being major exports. The Northwest Ordinance of 1787 establishes a template for governing territories and admitting new states to the Union. It emphasizes education and sets the stage for the eventual abolition of slavery. Slavery itself is a contentious issue dividing the nation from the start. While it's legal in most southern states, the US has already started to grapple with its morality and implications. The Missouri Compromise of 1820 temporarily diffuses the escalating conflict over slavery. But tensions continue to simmer beneath the surface, foreshadowing future clashes over this divisive issue. As the 19th century unfolds, the US continues to grow and change in profound ways. New inventions and technologies transform daily life, connecting people and goods across the vast nation. Meanwhile, social movements like abolitionism gain momentum, challenging the status quo and pushing for positive change. The US population undergoes significant transformations with waves of immigration from Europe and the Americas. This influx of diverse cultures enriches American society while also bringing new challenges and tensions. By 1865, the US has emerged as a major player on the world stage. Its victory in the Civil War preserves the Union and paves the way for the end of slavery. Now, despite all these achievements, it's essential to acknowledge the darker aspects of US history during this period. The treatment of Native Americans is appalling. They're brutally displaced and marginalized as the US expands westward. The legacy of slavery continues to cast a long shadow, perpetuating racial inequality and injustice. The US must confront these issues head-on to truly live up to its ideals of liberty and equality for all. And that brings us to the pivotal year of 1914, a time when the United States stands on the cusp of becoming a global superpower. Its victory in the Spanish-American War establishes it as a major player on the world stage, controlling territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. The Panama Canal opens, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and solidifying the US position as a global power broker. But the road to superpower status isn't without its challenges. The US grapples with issues like imperialism, colonialism, and its role in international affairs. Nevertheless, by 1914, the seeds of American global dominance have been sown. As we conclude our journey through US history, it's clear that the nation has come a long way from its colonial roots. It's grown from 13 colonies into a vast continental nation, reshaping the world through exploration, diplomacy, and military might. But the story doesn't end here. This journey is just the beginning. What happens next will astound you, so make sure to stay tuned for more updates and join us in the next episode where we'll continue to explore the incredible story of the United States. Now, before we wrap up, let's take a quick moment to thank you for joining us on this journey through US history. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep exploring the fascinating stories of our world, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we release new videos and get access to exclusive content. We've got plenty more historical tales and intriguing insights to share with you, and we can't wait for you to join us on our future adventures. Okay, that's all for now, folks. Thank you for joining us on this episode of our show. If you're as curious about the world as we are, then you won't want to miss a single episode. So hit that subscribe button and join our community of lifelong learners. And hey, if you've got a topic that you'd like to see us cover, drop a comment below, and who knows, your idea might just become the next episode. Until then, stay curious, keep asking questions, and remember, the world is full of wonders just waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.